What's good, everybody? It's the Clownwood Cav Show. NFL Week 4 did not disappoint. I first of all want to give a shout out to the Dallas Cowgirls. Oh, excuse me, the Dallas Cowboys. I cannot believe it, dude. You guys are really gonna lose to the Cleveland Browns at home? At home? There's no more excuses for the Cowboys anymore. Obviously, I said, Baker and Dak, these are their biggest seasons yet. And Dak Prescott, yes, he's having a great year, but yet they're still losing these games. I don't get it. Baker Mayfield had a great game. He had 2 touchdowns. Odell had 3 touchdowns. One of those were rushing. I mean, dude, the Cowboys defense is not relevant anymore. I'm trying to still figure it out how the Cowboys are still subpar, yet they have great talent across the board. How is that, the Cowboys? How? Jerry Jones, it really boils down to you, but, shout out to the Cleveland Browns, man. I cannot believe it. Dak Prescott had a great game. Over 500 yards with 4 touchdowns. I mean, what more could you ask for Dak, And I know recently I blamed Dak Prescott for a couple losses, but look, dude, Zeke, didn't have a great game either. Amari Cooper had 12 receptions for 134 yards and a touchdown. But, I mean, dude, how are the Cowboys still losing? Honestly, they should be they should be winless. They should be winless, no doubt about it. Obviously, the win against Atlanta on the onside kick, Atlanta really was just dumb. I mean, typical Atlanta Falcons, what they do, just doing dumb shit late game. But to me, the Cowboys, they are definitely concerned. Are the Cowboys going to make the playoffs? Are they going to miss another year out of the playoffs? I don't know what it is. Dak's playing great. I can't blame Dak right now. He's putting up crazy numbers. So what is it? It's their defense. That's what it boils down to. The Browns, I mean, Baker Mayfield, hats off to him. The Cleveland Browns are 3-1 right now. I believe the first time since, 99? Something crazy like that. First time in a long time, but hats off to the Cleveland Browns. Baker can feel it. Look, dude, I'm telling you, this is the year. I mean, obviously, if the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs, look, dude, sign Baker. When was the last time a Cleveland Browns quarterback took you guys to the playoffs? Yes, the playoffs. That's what we're talking about. I can't believe it. Shout out to the Browns, man. The Cowboys, you guys have a long season. At this point, the way they're playing, they're not going to make the playoffs. What are they going to do? Fire their coach and try to get a new one again? I think the main problem is Jerry Jones. He's too old. He should sell the organization to somebody a lot younger and more experienced. Okay? And you guys would say that's ignorant, Cap, to say not experienced. But, dude, I mean, let's be honest, dude. The Cowboys haven't won since, what, the 90s? I probably wasn't even born yet then when they won. Come on. What is going on with the Cowboys? You guys have an uphill battle. Then we got the Saints versus the Lions. This one I cashed out. I got the spread right, got the over right. 54 was the over-under. It was the over, and they won. Drew Brees got it done. 246 yards with 2 touchdowns and just 1 pick. Matt Stafford had a pretty good game. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, over 200 yards passing. Kamara, he had 1 touchdown with 83 yards. Look, man, this was a big win for the Saints. Like I said, the Saints, this was a must-win game. The Saints did not want to go down 3-1 into the season. You get where I'm going? That would have been super bad, bro. That would have been bad news bears for the Saints, but they got it done. They got it done. They were the away team. They got business handled. Shout out to Drew Brees and the Saints. Like I said, I'm still staying in my pick. I'm still picking the Saints to win it all. My past 3 years, I picked the Saints. Hey, third year's a charm, right? I mean, it has to come at some point. It has to be reality at some point. Shout out to the Saints. Then we got the hottest team in the NFL right now. It's the Seattle Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins. This one I cashed out. The 5.5 was the spread. They won over by 5.5. Russell Wilson is balling out. I mean, honestly, I think he should be winning MVP right now. He had 2 touchdowns. Yes, he had an interception, but he had 360 yards, and he got the dub. The most important thing, he got the W. The away team, Seattle is dangerous, and I think they're the hottest team right now. I understand there's undefeated teams out there, but Seattle's very dangerous. And the way Russell Wilson is playing, he's playing like he's out to prove to something. He's proven to you that he can really get it done, that he can win MVP, and he can win another Super Bowl. That for real. And I get it. Pete Carroll's pretty good. He's had some iffy games, but obviously they played against Miami. Fitzpatrick, he had 2 interceptions for 315 yards. I want to see Tua get a shot. I think this is really the week where they should bring Tua in and see what his talents are. Rookie, bring him in, give him a shot. Fitzpatrick's been in the league for a while. I mean, Miami, dude, for real, dude, it's their time. Shout out to the Seattle Seahawks. Then we got the Chargers versus the Bucks. This was another one. The spread was a push. The over-under was 42.5. Barely got the over right. Tom Brady went off. 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. This is the Tom Brady we saw back in New England. 369 yards. Mike Evans, he had 7 receptions for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. Actually, 122 yards receiving. So I feel like for Tom Brady, he loves those big targets, big receivers, big tight ends. Obviously we haven't really seen Gronk in the mix. I expect Gronk to really come out late in the season and into the postseason. That's when they'll use Gronk a lot more. I'm not worried about it right now. People are like, how come Brady's not passing it to Gronk? Gronk is doing his job. He's blocking, okay? That's his job right now. When Tom Brady wants to call his number, he will. I know he threw it to him a couple times, overthrew one of them down the middle when Gronk was down there. But look, dude, I'm not worried about the Bucks, okay? They're going to make the playoffs. I'm not worried about Tom Brady, and if they ended up squeaking into the playoffs, it's going to be that wild card. And typically, a lot of the times when we see these teams squeak into that little wild card spot, we see them win the Super Bowl. Look at the Giants back in 2007 when they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. They started off 0-2. 0-2, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year. Man, it was crazy, but like I said, the Bucks are a team to watch out. I like where they're going. They keep getting better and better each week, and obviously with Tom Brady, what he brings to the table is something amazing. 6-time Super Bowl champion. What more can you ask for? If he wins another Super Bowl, he'll have 7 rings, one more than MJ. I mean, to me, Tom Brady, MJ, dude, so iconic figures, iconic duos. Then we got Ravens versus the Washington team. The Ravens won. Lamar Jackson had 3 touchdowns. 45.5 was the over. Went over. Obviously, I saw the Ravens winning this game. The spread was a push. Look, Lamar Jackson, like I said, this is really his year. Obviously, he won MVP last year, but I really want to see him do great into the playoffs, into the postseason, which I will think we will see. I think he'll end up beating Tennessee, but he's going to have to go through Kansas City. That's really what it boils down to for Lamar. Yeah, and he even said it. Like, look, this is our kryptonite team. This is the team we have to beat come late season, into the postseason. So I can't wait to see what Lamar brings. And obviously the Ravens, I'd like to see the Ravens get a little better on defense going more towards the end of the season. That's what they need to improve on. Then we got Arizona versus the Panthers. Arizona was 3-point favorites. I picked the dog on this one. I said Teddy Bridgewater's going to have a big game. I expect the Panthers to win. 52 was the over-under. Went with the under and got that right. Teddy Bridgewater had 2 touchdowns for 276 yards. Teddy Bridgewater, I love this kid, man. He's a student of the game. He understands the game. His IQ of the game is just amazing. It's similar to like a point guard, like Isaiah Thomas or Magic Johnson or Steve Nash type, somebody like those. That's what he is. Teddy Bridgewater's a point guard of the game. Kyler Murray, he had a good game, 3 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, he had 7 receptions for 41 yards. But look, Panthers got it done at home. I think this was a huge win for the Carolina Panthers because they'll end up getting McCaffrey back, I'd say, in the next month, which that's a plus, right? Once you get McCaffrey back, it's the sky's the limit for the Panthers, and I expect the Panthers to make the playoffs the way Teddy Bridgewater's been playing lately. I love that. Then we got Minnesota versus the Texans. I picked the Texans to win this. They were favored by 4, and actually Minnesota won. And then after, the day after, Bill O'Brien, the Texans head coach, ends up getting fired. Starting off 0-4, to me it's unheard of. The Texans to make the playoffs at this point, it's going to be slim to none. But still, it's crazy to me. I really feel bad for Deshaun Watson, J.J. Watt, and those guys. They play their heart out. But it's like, Bill O'Brien, I'm sorry, dude. It was your time. 0-4 to start the season, not even 1 win. Deshaun Watson this game had 300 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, yet they still lose. They lost because they gave up so much on the defensive end. Dalvin Cook had 27 carries for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. That was the difference maker right there. That's why Minnesota won. They controlled the clock. They controlled the yards. They controlled the front 7. And to me, the Texans had no answer. Had no answer for it. It's crazy. Kirk Cousins, 260 yards and 1 touchdown. But like I said, Minnesota loves to run the ball. And Dalvin Cook got that extension. Shout out to Dalvin Cook. What a game. To me, the Texans, obviously, it's only one way for the Texans, and that's up. Get a new coach, get a good young coach. I feel like that's what the Texans need. But for Deshaun Watson, I still keep putting up crazy numbers. Still, but their coach is gone. It's going to be crazy to see what the Texans do this month of October. Like, are you going to lay down and just give up the whole season? Or are you guys going to fight back and try to make the playoffs for a late push? Maybe get a wild card spot. 0-4 team. No 0-4 teams ever won the Super Bowl. So can you guys make history? Probably not this year. Let's be honest. But at least try to get into that playoff spot. Then we got the Giants versus the Rams. The Rams won. I picked the Rams. I was leaning more towards the money line. They did not cover. The Rams were 13-point favorites. It was 9-17 the final score. Jared Goff had 200 yards with 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his favorite target right now, 5 receptions for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. Like I said, the Giants, their season's over. Daniel Jones, this season's over. You understand Saquon Barkley being hurt? To me, that's what hurt him. When I saw that, I was like, Giant season's over. That's it. I mean, that's how valuable Saquon Barkley is to the Giants. Seriously, I hope the best for Saquon. I hope he has a good recovery this season and into the offseason of next year. And I can't wait to see what he brings into the 2021 season. But it's just sad, heartbreaking. But the Giants, you guys are done. Winless. Haven't even won a game. But the Rams, this was an easy win for you. I would categorize it as an easy win. No freaking doubt. Then we have the Colts versus the Bears. Like I said, when I pick against the Colts, they normally win. That's why I picked against them. I said, look, dude, every time I pick the Colts to win, they end up losing. Okay, so I ended up picking the Bears, but the Colts won. I'm so happy that the Colts won. Phillip Rivers, 190 yards with 1 touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, man, I love this kid. This kid has a bright future, man. 17 carries for 68 yards. That's what they need to do more. Feed in the ball more. I'd like to see him get 20-plus carries a game. If not 20-plus carries, 15-plus carries and some little screens to him every now and then. That's what I want to see. Jonathan Taylor, man, he's legit. I love this kid. Where they're going. Look, dude, the Bears, obviously starting Nick Foles, they got to bounce back. But they can still make the playoffs. Nick Foles, 249 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But the Colts got the win. The Colts are 3-1. Started off 0-1, and I said they should tank, but obviously they're not listening because they're playing to go to the playoffs. They're playing to lose to Kansas City or the Ravens in the playoffs or Tennessee. You pick whichever one. I still think the Colts should tank and draft Trevor Lawrence, but hey, it is what it is. We'll stick with Phillip Rivers for 1 year, and then, we'll just figure it out, right, on the fly. I can't believe it, but shout out to the Colts. They got the dub. Then we got the Bills versus the Raiders. I told you the Bills would win this game. They ended up covering. The 3 points was a spread. I love this dude. Josh Allen having a great season to start, and he ended the season great last year. Yes, they lost to the Texans in the playoffs, but he proved to me that he's a baller. He can play. He had 288 yards with 1 touchdown. His favorite target, Diggs, coming from Minnesota, he had 6 receptions for 115 yards. I love Diggs, man. I love Allen. I love where they're going. The Bills are a dangerous team, man. They really are. The Raiders, Derek Carr, he had 311 yards with 2 touchdowns. Darren Waller, their tight end, he had 9 receptions for 88 yards. And Josh Jacobs just 48 yards on 15 carries. And I think really that was the difference of them stopping Josh Jacobs, and that's why the Bills ended up winning the game. If Josh Jacobs would have had a great game in the offensive line for the Raiders, would have blocked better, I think Raiders could have won this game. But like I said, I picked the Bills. The way the Bills are playing, they're on fire. Man, who would have thought the Bills would be this good at this time right now? I don't even think Bill fans would have thought that. Amazing to me. The Bills' future is super bright. I cannot wait. They will make the playoffs this year. You bet your freaking balls that they will make the playoffs this year. The Bills will. Then we got Philly versus the 49ers. This was another upset pick. I picked the Philadelphia Eagles to win. I simply picked it because this game meant more to them than the 49ers. If Philly would have lost this game, they're, 0-3-1? They could not do that. This win was huge for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm telling you what, Carson Wentz, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Yes, he's had a slow start to the season. I get it. But he proved on that night, dude, he wanted it more than the 49ers. Diving for extra yards, taking big hits. Carson Wentz played with heart, dude. And yes, I get it. He plays with heart every game, right? But this game was different, dude. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles treated this like a playoff game. They 100% did. And the 49ers did not do it. Kittle went off 15 receptions for 183 yards and 1 touchdown. Nick Mullins, definitely, they need Jimmy G back. Threw a pick six late game, and that was the difference maker of the game right there when Nick threw the pick six. To me, they need Jimmy G back. Obviously missing Bosa out for season's gonna hurt, but 49ers definitely they're fine right now. I'm not worried about them. Jimmy G just needs to come back and be healthy. That's what they need. But for the Eagles, man, Carson Wentz, like I said, huge win, dude. What a week for me. Obviously last week sucked big freaking. But dude, I'm telling you what, dude, this week was great. I only got a couple games wrong, but this game right here, the Philly game, was a huge game. This was a huge game for Philly. What a game. And like I said, they ended up playing the Cowboys, and I think Philadelphia right now is better than the Cowboys. Obviously, Dak's putting up crazy numbers, but everything else, what the Cowboys are doing right now is a big no-no. It's like, Cowboys, what are you guys smoking on? Some K2, some crack, some meth? What is it? What are you guys smoking on? Okay, but shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Then we got Atlanta versus Green Bay. Atlanta's winless. Okay, Dan Quinn should be out of there. Should have been out of there years ago. To me, I can't believe it. Green Bay, they ended up covering 7 points. It was 56 was the over-under. I went with the over. It was actually the under by barely. Rodgers, 327 yards with 4 touchdowns. I mean, crazy, right? To think that Madden ratings rated Aaron Rodgers at 89 coming into this season. And I think Aaron Rodgers really thought about that and said, wow, disrespect, really disrespect. But the way Green Bay's playing right now, this is a different Green Bay team than we saw last year. I think their defense is more flying to the ball. I still want to see their secondary improve a little bit more for late in the season into the postseason. But, dude, I'm telling you what, Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs at home, having home field advantage, that is definitely the difference right there. Can Aaron Rodgers maybe make a playoff run and go to the Super Bowl? It'd be great for Green Bay Packer fans in the whole nation of Green Bay, right? Of Wisconsin. But I love it. Like I said, it'd be ignorant to pick against Green Bay at home against when they're playing Atlanta in the way Atlanta and Matt Ryan's playing. Look, it's just not their year again. It's heartbreaking to see this keep happening to Atlanta Falcons over and over and over and over again. It just sucks, dude, but shout out to the Green Bay Packers. Then we had Kansas City versus the Patriots. Yes, they ended up postponing it to the Monday night game. Kansas City ended up winning this game, which I picked easily. No doubt about it. Cam Newton being out for the Patriots, this was definitely one of them things where it was just obvious, that Kansas City was going to win. Kansas City's definitely the team to beat. They're the Super Bowl defending champions. Okay, so give them respect here. And I think, we could really see Kansas City being the next dynasty, being the next New England Patriots here, during this decade from 2020 to 2030, dude. That's what I'm talking about. That's it. That's what they're about, bro. Kansas City's legit. I mean, there's some big teams out this year. Obviously, my biggest upset pick of this week was definitely the Philadelphia Eagles at San Francisco. Nobody really saw it coming, but the reason I picked it was I thought Carson Wentz was going to come out with the urgency, and I thought the whole Philadelphia team was like, hey, this is a must-win game for us. If we lose, that's it. That's that. And then obviously another upset pick that I did not see coming was the Cleveland Browns versus the Cowboys. I mean, dude, Cleveland's 3-1, Dallas is 1-3. Like, come on, dude. I'm really heartbreak about where the Cowboys are at mentally right now. They're just not there, I don't think, obviously. And then, like I said, last but not least, the Jags versus the Bengals, a Thursday night game. The Bengals ended up getting their first dub. Like I said, this was Joe Burrow's first win in the NFL. I mean, obviously, Joe Burrow, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. I understand you played against the Jags, but, hey, you got the dub. For Cincinnati to get a win, hey, hats off to them. Hats off to Joe Burrow. But, dude, NFL is back, baby. Let's go!